Tonight in the French kitchen, it is vol au vent and quenelle. Bon appétit! So for our recipe tonight, quenelle and vol au vent, we are gonna start with the quenelles. So we are gonna use 140 grams of water with a little bit of salt. We have 70 grams of Swiss cheese, 70 grams of butter, 80 grams of flour, and 2 eggs. So we're gonna start by melting the butter with the water. We'll add the flour, cook it for 10 minutes, and then we'll add the eggs and the cheese before we can actually make the quenelles. Then we'll move on to the vol au vent. So for that, we are going to use some pastry shells like these ones. So these are there, so that we will cook, so they can look like this. And then we will have some mushrooms, some butter, and some chicken. And we'll do a bechamel sauce with some flour, milk, chicken stock, and some more Swiss cheese. So let's get started with the quenelle. So we'll take the water and put it on the cooktop. So I'm gonna turn on the burner, and so I've got my water, again 140 grams. With a little bit of salt, I'm gonna add the butter so it can start melting. And when it's melted, we'll add the flour to it, and we'll cook it for 10 minutes. Let's just start with melting the butter. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to use the same bechamel sauce to cook with or to fill the pastry shells, and to cook with the quenelles. And the idea is in the shell we'll have the bechamel sauce with some pieces of quenelle and some chicken, and it will overflow on the side over quenelle, and then we'll serve that with a salad, and that will make us a nice and light dinner. So my butter is almost melted. So I think it's completely melted now. So we're gonna add the flour to it, and we'll keep stirring during the 10 minutes that we are cooking. the mix. And maybe I just lower a little bit the burner, the heat. And so the idea is that we're gonna cook the flour. So back in 10 minutes. So it's been 10 minutes now. So we're gonna just turn off the cooktop. So now we have a paste, and we're gonna add. Turn this off. We're gonna add the Swiss cheese. So again, 70 grams of Swiss cheese. Try to mix well. Okay, so we're gonna let it cool down a little bit, and then we'll add the eggs and a tiny bit of muscade. In the meantime, we are going to start the oven at 425 degrees, so we can cook the shells, right? So that we will use for the vol au vent. So now we are gonna start cooking the chicken. So I cut one breast of chicken in small pieces. So we are going to cook that, and then we'll add the mushroom to it. And while it's starting to cook, I think we'll be able to add the eggs now. The quenelle mix has been cooling down, so we're gonna add the eggs to it. So we are at 2 eggs. And so we are going to mix it in. We're going to keep an eye on the chicken. So our quenelle paste is ready, and we're gonna be able to start making forming the quenelles, which we're gonna do shortly. On the chicken, we're gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper. We're gonna let it cook for a few minutes. So we're gonna add now the mushrooms. So I have 150 grams of mushrooms. And so we'll let that cook for a few more minutes on a low heat, and now we're gonna prepare the quenelles. So for the quenelles, we're gonna flour the countertop. And then we're going to use 2 soup spoons. And we're going to take a nice piece of the paste and start shaping the quenelle. And we're going to use some flour so it can keep its shape. This. And then we'll keep them in the fridge for about 30 minutes before we start cooking them. So, let's see how many we can get. Okay. So we're gonna place these on the plate, and we're gonna keep them in the fridge for about 30 minutes. And as you may have heard, the oven is ready, so we'll get the shell in the oven. So I'm gonna place the shell on a silicone mat, and we're gonna cook them for 20 minutes. So for the bechamel sauce, we're gonna use 40 grams of butter, about 4 soup spoons of flour, a chicken cube, half a liter of milk, so 500 milliliters, and about 100 grams of Swiss cheese. So we're gonna start by melting the butter. We'll add the flour, and then we'll add the milk with the chicken cube. So my butter is melted. So I'm gonna add the flour now. Lower the heat. So it's 4 soup spoons of flour. And we'll start adding a bit of milk. And we also add the chicken cube. So it has time to melt. It starts having a nice consistency. Actually, I'm gonna use a a whisk. And I'll keep adding the milk. Just a little bit at a time so my sauce remains smooth. I think it's really nice now. So we're just gonna keep cooking until it thickens to the right consistency now. So we're gonna get our shell out, so they're cooked now. Kind of in a bit of a funny shape, but that'll do it. So we're gonna just let them cool down, and we'll finish up our sauce. We'll start cooking the quenelles, and then we will start preparing the plates. So let's go finish up the sauce for now. So to finish up our sauce, I want to add a little bit of lemon. So I'm just gonna use a small piece. We don't want to put too much acidity into it. So I'm just gonna add a squeeze this of lemon. And I'll give it a taste. I think that's good. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna use the sauce to cook with the chicken and the mushrooms, but also we're gonna keep some to cook the quenelles. So I'm gonna use some of the sauce in here. Keep the remainder, and then we'll just put the quenelles in the pot, so we can actually cook them. Yes. And so we're probably gonna cook them for about 10 minutes, and everything should be then ready to be assembled. So everything's cooking nicely now. So we have our chicken mushroom with the bechamel sauce. We have our quenelles, which are dipped into the sauce. So what we're gonna add, the Swiss cheese to the chicken. that will give us a creamy, cheesy texture. And as we keep heating the sauce, it will keep thickening as well. It starts to be really nice here. So that's where we're at right now. It's getting it's really nice. I'm gonna lower a little bit the quenelles because I don't want them to burn on the bottom. And I'm gonna lower the chicken as well too. So let it simmer slowly. I think we have a nice texture on the sauce. So just let it blend and stay warm at this point. So probably have 5 or 6 more minutes, and then we'll be ready to get everything together. Okay, so we are gonna turn off the heat. The chicken is good. Our quenelles are good as well. So we're gonna get the quenelles out. Okay, we'll get the other ones out after. So we're gonna do we're gonna cut some pieces of the quenelles that we will add as well with the chicken. This. We're gonna gently, very gently mix them in. So it's gonna add some softness when you eat the vol au vent. And so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna start preparing the plates. So switching sides. So we have removed the tops from the shells, and so we're gonna start with the quenelle. So we're gonna put the quenelle right there. And then we're gonna use the chicken, mushroom, and quenelle mix to fill the shells, and like this. And what we're gonna do is just overflow on the quenelle like that. And we'll serve this with some salad. It will add some freshness and make it not too heavy for dinner. Voilà. And then we can add the hat on top. Et voilà, bon appétit!